Good day everyone. Our topic for today is all about the introduction to quadratic equation. Quadratic formula, we have this quadratic formula, negative b positive negative square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. What is it for? The quadratic formula is used to solve quadratic equation. What's a quadratic equation? What does it mean to solve? Quadratic equations, to use the quadratic formula, the equation must be in descending order equal to 0, aka the standard form. The all quadratic equation can be written in this form where a, b, and c are constant and a cannot be 0. So ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is the standard form in the quadratic equation. Shape of a quadratic. The shape of all quadratic functions or equation is a parabola. Pag sabing parabola, it can be opens upward, like this one, or opens downward, or opens to the right, or opens to the left. Other example, here are some more examples of quadratic equations. So 2x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. Negative 5x squared minus 7x plus 14 is equal to 0. And x squared plus 2x is equal to 0. Notice in the last one that there is no c term. This is not a mistake. Notice that also that all quadratic equations have a squared variable or x squared. So lahat sila, all the quadratic equations have this what they call x squared. Okay, so it's correct. And also in this example there's no constant, so that's okay. Quadratic functions. On the previous page, you notice that quadratic equations were written to equal to 0. This will be explained later. 2x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. Negative 5x squared minus 7x plus 14 is equal to 0, and x squared plus 2x is equal to 0, they can also be written equal to y. This is called a quadratic function. So kapag equals to y sila, that's what we call the quadratic function. So y is equal to 2x squared plus 3x plus 2, y is equal to negative 5x squared minus 7x plus 14, and y is equal to x squared plus 2x are also called the quadratic function. Using the quadratic formula to solve. Remember that quadratic formula shown earlier is negative b positive negative square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. We can use the quadratic formula to find the x-axis crossing point of the quadratic equation. We have to remember that standard form of quadratic equation that ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. The quadratic formula is really a rearranged version of the standard form of the quadratic equation. It can be rearranged to solve for x. The place the parabola crosses the x-axis. It could be rewritten to read as below. So we have x equals negative b positive negative square root of b squared over minus 4ac over 2a. So the quadratic formula is used to solve any quadratic equation. Standard form of the quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So I already told you about this. For the x squared plus 4a plus 8 equals to 0, the a is equal to 1, b 4, 8 for the c. Another, 3x squared minus 5x plus 6. A is equal to 3. B, negative 5. C, 6. Okay? Now, for 2x squared plus x equals 0, A is equal to 2, B is equal to 1, and C is equal to 0. There's no C. X squared equals negative 10 is equal to x squared plus 10. A is equal to 1, B is equal to 0, C is equal to 10. Using the formula, look at the quadratic equation below and compare it to the standard form of the quadratic equations. Simply list your a, b, c, and c values in the quadratic equations using into the quadratic formula. So we have a equals 1 for the x squared plus 5x plus c, b is equal to 5, and c is equal to 6. If there's no number before x squared, assume a is equal to 1. Okay? Using the formula, just substitute them using the quadratic formula. Okay? So we have this one. Negative 5 positive negative square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times 6. Okay, just substitute A, B, C to the formula. 2 times 1. For this to solve, we have 5 squared, that's 25. 4 times 1 times 6, that's negative 24. 2 times 1 is 2. Next, we have negative 5 positive negative square root of 1 over 2. That's equal to negative 5 positive negative 1 over 2 because the square root of 1 is equal to 1. Right? Now, to solve for the x, number of x, we have negative 5. So we will separate them using positive and negative. The first one is positive, so negative 5 plus 1 over 2. And that is negative 2 because negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. For the next one, we have negative 5 minus 1 over 2. Negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6 because they have the same sign. So add the number and copy the sign divided by 2. The answer is negative 3. So therefore, the two x that we have are negative 2 and negative 3. That is our solution set. So that's all about for the introduction to quadratic equations. Thank you very much for listening.